All right, everybody, Real Talk episode 12. I'm here with Junior from Gratitude Hair Gallery. We've known each other for about 3 years. He's a businessman, not just a barber. So I brought him here today so maybe you guys can learn a couple things from him. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Cool. So before we get going, I'm not sure if people have any idea. If they haven't mentioned before, they have no idea that you've seen your brand as more than just cutting hair. And I want to start from that place. So. What's your vision for Gratitude? Tell me a little bit about, kind of what got you motivated to do all of this.
Basically, I would say spirituality is my main thing, family and business. Basically, in terms of gratitude, my vision for gratitude is branding and changing lives and paid for it.
So for anybody who's a little bit confused, like how are you changing people's lives when you're cutting their hair?
Basically, through conversation is more than a haircut though, because when I cut in someone, the first thing I'm thinking about though, how may I serve that person, because I always listen to the customer though, find a way though, what that person going through though, and then I product myself to help the person out though.
Okay.
To communication though.
Have you ever run into people who aren't willing to have that conversation with you? How do you deal with that?
How do I deal with that?
Yeah.
Basically, the way I'll deal with it though, by listening, focusing, and somehow not the first time. I might not get the first time. The fact like I'm listening to them though, to the second time though, somehow though, that person will end up opening itself to me. Everybody want to talk to you. Just gotta relate to them. As you relate to them, though, they'll open this up to you.
Right. Okay. Cool. And so when they come to see Gratitude and experience it, you want them to experience more than
the
haircut, and I think that most business owners want that wow factor too. They provide a service, but they have to do more than that to really stand out. So what is Gratitude doing that's more than hair, other than getting to know somebody on a personal level, that takes Gratitude to the next level, you think?
Customer service quality, and those are what we're doing though. It's just like that's what makes us different though, customer service.
So what specifically, what are you doing in customer service that you think other barbershops aren't doing?
What I'm doing is like right now I'm involved into education or learning more about barbering though, and highlight, coloring. Those is what I'm doing.
Fair enough. I know this is true because I've experienced it firsthand. Like I've been there. I know the vibe is different. That's why we're doing this today. But I was just curious how you were going to describe it. Okay, so tell me about you're increasing your service, your quality of care. But tell me about that first year or two, trying to find a way to get your skills to the next level. What kind of obstacles did you face when you really first started out as a barber?
When I first started out as a barber like I didn't want to be a barber though. The business chose me though. Because I had a friend though, because he was a barber though, and I was in Miami though, and I used to do construction though. And as I lost my job though, basically like he basically like by him being trying to mentor me to be a part of it, I lost my job. I was hanging in the barbershop though. It's kind of convincing though. I wasn't doing nothing though, and by sweeping the floor though and going into it though, slowly but surely though, that's how I ended up get hold of it. Basically like barber chose me.
So how old were you when you
I was 19.
19? Yes. The first haircut you ever did? And is that like late for the average barber? Is that early? Like
basically I won't say it's late though. To me it's early, man. It's early for 19 years old though, having a skill though, that's pretty early. That's a good start.
Okay, so what about the next year? What are you doing with Gratitude the next year to get it to the next level?
Because when I started barbering, Gratitude was not existent yet though, because I was in Miami. Because Gratitude come along though when I moved here though, and I had a business, and I sort of lost the business though, I make a lot of mistakes though. To my mistake though, basically I had a partner, we went different way though, I went different way. That's how basically Gratitude come along though.
Okay, so Gratitude started after that split?
After my first business for 5 years though, and then come along right after that, because I sort of hit rock bottom, and I have to refine myself, reinvent myself though. That's how it's come along though.
Okay.
It's
So let's backtrack to that business that eventually, you know, broke up and failed and brought you to gratitude. What were some of the things that you were struggling with at that time that ultimately led to the business collapsing?
Basically like lack of planning and having partner basically without even like put everything on paper though, because I was just getting succeed. How I get succeed though, and it was like kind of too much for me because I couldn't handle it and stuff though. Basically like it's kind of like I hit a plateau because like because I didn't have a dream. Basically I just, when I hit the plateau, I just dropped down.
Right. So what are you doing differently now to not have that happen?
Basically like I'm just like every single day is like working on my plan, and basically able to think like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, just thinking like far ahead in the future.
I remember I have these distinct memories of coming to see you in Toronto, and you telling me about an audiobook you're listening to on the way to work. You know, you were always doing this, and I've seen like just in your temperament, like the slow transformation of the way you talk and the way you move, right, with people, and I think that's inevitable. Like when you work with people, you do change. You know, you change your temperament, change your demeanor, and self-development, right? And I think it's a huge aspect to it. Like out of all those books that you've been reading, you know, which one do you think has changed or impacted you the most?
Basically the first book that impacted me the most, I said Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's basically that book kind of before I was sort of lost, and then by reading that book though, it's give me an idea though where I'm at, where I came from, and where I'm going though. And it's allowed me to see though, no, everything that I want though, the choice is mine though, we all self-made though. That book make the most impact in my life.
Okay. And let's bring it way back now, before you were a barber, you know, where you were born, and you growing up, you know, about the family, just so people can get to know a little bit behind the scenes, more than gratitude. You know, who is Junior? Yeah,
basically I was born in Haiti, and basically without my family never been around. Basically my mom, born from Haiti, like struggling a lot in Haiti though, and then my mom bring me to Miami, and my mom brought me to Miami. Basically like she left me there. Basically I just had to find my way though to basically make a living in life though, and basically that's how I turned out to be a barber though. I was doing construction, and from that, and then I become a barber. I made a friend that kind of taught me barbering though, and that's how everything started though. And then from Miami, because I was illegal when I was in Miami. I didn't have no paper and stuff like that because I gotta find a way to make a living. The fact that I was illegal in Miami, it's kind of forced me to leave though, because like I have a letter of deportation. I have to leave from Miami. I went to Virginia, and from Virginia,
I didn't know this.
Yes, things was still kind of tough though, and I have to leave Virginia as well though, because like my driver's license expired though, because I still have that deportation on me though. That's why basically like there was a program in Canada that like everybody that get basically denied from the state though, they offer them a second chance though. That's how basically I ended up coming here.
I didn't know that, man. After all this time, I didn't even know that story.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, were you scared, man? Like, is that horrifying?
Yeah, because that's what made me was pretty scared. But like I said before, it was just me, and then because I believe I learned the spirit of hustling basically from my mom, and then I just always looking for a way though to strive to have a better life though, and that's how I ended up having a relationship with God though.
Yeah,
that's instinct though. I just like believe, striving for a better life that somehow though it comes to me.
Man. Okay, so what kind of advice would you give to people that are starting out so that they can, you know, avoid some of the mistakes that you've made?
In terms of barbering or in terms of business?
Let's do business.
Basically, I would say it's like planning is the key though, involving education though, never stop learning though, and I would say it's like planning as well though. It's like maybe before basically they want to open a business though, I'd suggest though they find someone that already doing it properly though, they matter that person though, and involve and never stop learning. Those are the advice that I'll give.
Right.
That's what I'm doing right now.
And I know I can already hear it in the back of my mind, some people saying, oh, that self-development stuff, you know, like, what do you, I mean, I think a lot of people struggle with getting into self-development because they feel like people view it so negatively. You know, it's like too cheesy, and then they're afraid to go down that path because they don't want to be made fun of. You know, and I mean, I've experienced it. I don't know if you've experienced it. Have you experienced any of that? Have you experienced anybody thinking like you're kind of weird, you're kind of odd for thinking like that?
Yes, I actually experienced that a lot though. But I think that's the part you gotta find yourself though, like you born again though, and basically like I experienced that when I experienced that I keep moving forward though. I think that's the middle part though, that's the unknown, because as you left who you are to become somebody else though, and you're gonna look kind of like strange though to some people though. You gotta keep pressing forward. Though. That's what you call love. That's what you call grace though, and that's what I believe that you just gotta stick to it though.
Right. I'm sitting looking at you right now, and I barely recognize you from like 3 years ago, right? Do you ever just look at what you're doing, what you're up to, look in the mirror, and surprise yourself, you know, where you are?
Yes, that just happened to me recently though. Basically, like once in a while though, just like it just comes to mind though. Sometimes by going, we just forget what we're achieving though.
Right.
It's just like once we take a break though, when our body is relaxing though, when we're seeing like what we're actually doing, or we're seeing what we're achieving through someone else that kind of saying that to us though, and that's when we can realize though, wow, that's a big achievement, that's a big improvement though for my part though. Even me being here right now though, and how we met though, and that's living the dream though.
Yeah. When I think about, before we started, you were talking about you know, like this is outside the box for you. You know, like this is right at the edge of your comfort zone. And first of all, that's the best place to be, because that's where you develop. And you know that. You don't need me to tell you that. But it's just so funny because it was just February 1st that I started with the brand and everything, right? And I was horrified of my own shows. Like I'd have a guest and I would be thinking like, man, I'm nervous. Maybe I'm more nervous than that, you know? And the reason why I bring that up is because it's unbelievable how fast you can transform yourself. It's unbelievable. Like this will always be that first time that you put yourself out on camera, right? For gratitude. Yes. But like just 5 times from now, 10 times from now, it's like you will be exponentially better. And it's like people don't get it. Like it's really, and so I'm excited to see in 6 months, 8 months, the way that you are communicating with people on camera, because I think that sometimes you think, you know, you struggle with it. I don't think that. Yeah. But you know, it's amazing, that learning curve.
Yeah, but like that's how basically, as you're saying that though, that's what showed me how powerful you are though. Whatever you do right now though, you were born called to do such a job though, and that's what brought me here though. It's my instinct though. Yeah. And that right there though, that's it though. That this reveal who you are though, man.
Right. I mean, I don't know, when I first started I was pretty bad, man. I was pretty bad. Yeah, maybe I'm still bad, who knows, but...
I believe we all a work in progress though.
Yeah.
When I met you a couple of weeks ago though, and then I learned a lot from you though, you tell me one thing though, you said like, no, I gotta be myself though, and which is I already know though. The fact like you say though, you've been there, and you kind of allow me to be myself though, and that's kind of like, that's what you allow me to be. That's kind of give you the strength though, to be right. Though.
Man.
I'm very grateful for that though.
It's crazy. Every time that I sit down with people, I think, let's just say that we both do everything that we plan to do. You know, in 5 years, like, what does your life look like? What does my life look like? And are we traveling somewhere together, talking about these podcasts as like a starting point, you know, and just thinking, man, like, look where we were, and now look where we are. And I just imagine a moment like, you know, halfway across the world, or maybe we were in a jet, or maybe we were, you know, whatever it is, and just thanking each other for like giving each other those moments to develop, to push forward. And by the way, doing it in an environment where people aren't doing what we're doing, and it's difficult sometimes to be that person when nobody else is. But then again, you attract people that are like that. The more you are like that, like for example, most of my circle now are really self-development oriented people. So because of that, it's pretty easy for me to stay being that person, because that's the normal now. You know, and I think that's what people struggle with. Like when they first try to make that transformation, they're the odd one out in their circle. And then if you stick with it, then eventually your circle gets, you know, replaced slowly with people that are thinking like you, and then it's easier to be that person. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes, 100%.
Are there do you feel like there's people that are being attracted into your life right now because of that transformation that you're making?
Yes, I would say even from my Instagram though, from my caption though, basically like when I had that conversation to the last time though, it kind of gave me some idea about Instagram, about social media though, and I've been using that as well though, that working for me, for my caption that allow a certain basis people, different, likewise mindset though, that attracted me, that
right,
that gravity toward me and stuff.
Yeah, it's so powerful, man. It's so powerful. I had this crazy thought the other day, and I was thinking about, because sometimes people will complain that they don't have any, high quality driven people in their life, and I think, maybe they're all around you. Okay, maybe they're all around you, and they're just not being attracted to you based on your behaviors. So like, what if you were to put out that you were this long-term thinker, that you were this success-oriented individual, and then all of a sudden all of these like-minded people started to reveal themselves to you. Maybe they'd been there the entire time, right? And I think that's such a powerful thought, because people are always looking, like they're trying to search to find the big connection, and it's like, is it there already? And they just don't see you as the worthwhile connection.
I do believe so. And
that blows my mind,
And because I learned that line and Think and Grow Rich as well. See, don't search for opportunity in the distance, recognize it right where you are. That's the same thing you just said.
Right.
Because that's in the audiobook, not in the actual book. Because I listened to the audiobook.
I did the audiobook as well. Listen to it.
And then the audiobook with Earl Nightingale and Napoleon Hill itself, though. At the end, though, that's the last conversation,
right? That's serious. Okay, so the barbershop. So tell me about the barbershop. Are you hiring new barbers underneath you? Are you looking to get in your own building soon? What's going on with that?
As of right now, though, I'm still in the process of learning and branding myself, though. The name, though, gradually, like I'm wearing right now, though. Just branding every single day, though. And embracing the new me. That's what I'm doing right now, though. And learning about the industry. And just planning. I'm still in the process of working on this. But every time I finish it, the fact like I'm learning though, I kind of squash that, redo it over again though.
Right.
Because I realized though how challenging to actually create a business plan from scratch. How difficult. I'm reading a book as well though, that's kind of like teaching you, like Saw by T.D. Jakes though. It's kind of teaching you how to build your business from ground zero and up though. And then the fact that I'm reading the book though, and I'm searching out there about my industry though. Every time I do something that it's allowed me to redo it. The more I redo it, that's the more I understand the business plan. I become the business plan now.
Okay.
And you get what I'm saying?
Oh, I do get that. And I also know that people who build business plans, it never looks like that 6 months down the road or a year down the road. It's always transforming.
Yes.
That must have happened a million times. Okay. So probably to wrap things up, I do want to finish with a question. It's a tough one, so if you need to take a second to think about it. What do you think is something that people who know you well don't know about you?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I would say is that I'm a very family-oriented guy and spirituality, and I'm a giving kind of guy though. That's the story behind gratitude right there. That's what I call gratitude right there though.
Beautiful. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Done?